Okay, hello everyone. I actually think that might have cut off, but hello everyone. We're live today with Jimmy and Ash from Pages in the Stars. Thank you so much for joining me. Do you guys want to introduce your channels?
Sure. I'm Ash over at Pages in the Stars. I talk mostly about young adult fantasy and sci-fi novels with a heavy emphasis on representation. Hi. That's what I got.
Hello.
And I am Jimmy Nuts over at the Fantasy Network. I am a former professional wrestler and just looked for another way to entertain people once that career was over. I jumped into books. I've loved fantasy since I was a kid. I do all types of adult fantasy with a little bit of Stephen King thrown in there when I can. But overall, I just like interacting with people and getting the thoughts of the best that we see in the fantasy genre today. So that's what I'm all about.
Yay. Hello everyone. Hello everyone in chat. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, today we're just going to be ranking a bunch of fantasy tropes. But before we get to that, I'm going to let people sort of stream in so we can just do a little bit of like a Q&A, I guess. How's your guys' days going? I didn't let you guys answer that question before we went live because I wanted to ask you on stream. So how are you guys doing?
I'm great.
Ash, you want to? Oh, Jimmy, you want to go first?
I mean, I'm good. I just had a workout. I got off work a little earlier today because I started a little earlier, and I feel good. I'm excited to talk about some tropes.
Yay, Ash, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm a teacher, and I have this week off. This was my spring break, which worked out because, like I said, that first dose of the vaccine kind of just smacked me in the face.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing better because
what do you teach?
I am an elementary school teacher. So, we run the whole gambit. We got everything from math, which is not my favorite thing to teach, to social studies and everything in between.
Very cool.
So
that sounds like a lot of fun. It's not a job I could do, but it sounds like a lot of fun for other people to do. It's a very necessary job, I think.
Absolutely.
But yeah. What have you guys been reading recently? How's your reading been going?
The Mad Ship by Hobb.
Oh wow. That is a very thick book.
I'm ramming through Realm of the Elderlings while also reading Dark Tower simultaneously, and they're so good at complementing each other. It's very strange, but the Dark Tower and Realm of Elderlings has worked very well for me in congruency. So very cool.
Interesting. That's not a combination I would think of.
It's very weird.
Yeah, I love that series. Sorry, Ash, but yeah, I just wanted to say I love that series. What are you reading, Ash?
I'm in the middle of The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. I actually have it on my tablet, which is why I don't have the book to hold up. I like it so far. There's just a lot of questions I have so far in regard to certain things in the plot, and I'm kind of hoping they get answered by the end of the book. I'm kind of buddy reading it with one of my friends, and we've been texting back, and I don't necessarily want to call it inconsistencies because the idea of the book I really enjoy. I'm really enjoying it. But there's just certain things with the plot where I'm kind of just sitting there. I have questions.
Yeah. That's one of those things where like sometimes it comes together at the end really well and you're like, oh, you look back on those like inconsistencies and you're like, oh, I see what they were trying to do. And then other times it's just like, oh, that didn't work at all. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Let me see what time it is. Oh, we're only 4 minutes into the hour, so you can keep hanging out. Yeah, I've heard of The Gilded Ones, actually. That's like a YA fantasy, right? I think the author wrote an article that went semi-viral-ish. You know what I'm talking about? No? I think it might be someone else.
Yeah, so deep into the recesses of my brain at this point.
Yeah. It's okay. But yeah, personally, I've been reading Murderbot. I've just been like zipping through those books. So yeah, I'm looking at the chat right now. Hello, everyone. Hi, Chris. Hello, Saber Bouquet. Saber Bouquet says or they can't imagine holding that to read about your book, Mad Ship.
I'm not gonna lie. So like, it's actually pretty tiresome on my hands. So I used Libby, thanks to Rid, to get the ebook version. So whenever my hands and carpal tunnel flare up, I can switch to my Kindle from Jeff Bezos. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love Libby, but also Libby is kind of controversial. They released a update today.
Oh no.
Did you guys see that?
Did I miss the glory days? Did I already miss that?
Yeah. So Ash, I don't know. Do you use Libby?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, you should really look into it because it's awesome. But so basically, Libby released an update and it's terrible. Like it used to be very simple and streamlined, and now there's all of these like buttons and like pages, and I wish they just kept like the very streamlined app.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. The Mad Ship is the third, or no, it's the second book in the Live Ship trilogy.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
How many pages is that book?
It's 906.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. I don't remember it being that long when I read it. I think I might have read it on ebook, which is why. But I mean, Robin Hobb's writing just flies by so quickly. So
It's true.
I feel like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've had such a good time reading it. It's the closest thing for me to whenever I was reading like A Song of Ice and Fire, because those books are so big, but I would just like cruise through them. It's kind of how I feel about this as well. Her writing, it just complements that very well.
Yeah, I think Rid, in one of your videos, you mentioned that Robin Hobb was one of those authors who was really good at getting you attached to characters and then did awful, horrible things to the characters. And just...
Yes, she's like the worst at that.
That's making me want to read her more.
Oh, God,
it shouldn't.
Yeah, I cried so much during the Tawny Man trilogy, which is the third trilogy in like the whole realm of the Elderlings. I cried so much. So if you like to suffer when you read books, Robin Hobb is definitely the author for you.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. Okay, should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Y'all feeling this?
I'm feeling it.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. I don't know what you guys see. Do you guys see this screen?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, so I don't know if you guys have ever done a tier list before, but I'll just explain it. It's pretty intuitive, but basically there's a bunch of tiers and these have been labeled, so they're pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, I figured we can all just like hash it out and argue over every trope and come to a consensus for the tier ranking.
Okay.
But yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
All right. So the first trope is amazing food. And I feel like, Jimmy, you should be familiar with this one because it's A Song of Ice and Fire.
I mean, they made a damn cookbook for the series. But yeah, I'll be honest. I have a little bit of a soft spot for good food scenes. Daniel Abraham does it a lot. And obviously George R. R. Martin does as well. I'm trying to remember. I've only read 4 books in Wheel of Time. Is Wheel of Time a amazing food type book?
No, it's not. Hold on. Not pages. Ash's face is covered by this comment, and I don't know how to get rid of it.
Oh no!
How do I do this?
You can just put me down there, so people don't look at my shiny forehead.
No, we have to have everyone's face. Oh no, this is.
You can
maybe if I click edit.
Maybe turn off the overlays. I don't know if you can move them around.
Oh no. This is so bad.
Remove
from oh, wait, no. That didn't work.
I'm just waiting to be booted.
Guys, I'm so sorry.
Fine.
I feel like I should be able to like click it, but I can't. This is so bad. No, it's not your fault, Johannes. Maybe I can. Oh, there we go.
Boom.
There we go.
Okay.
See, we're learning together.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna share my screen again. We need to be able to see Ash's reactions to everything. That's very important to me. Okay, so back to amazing food.
Okay.
As I was saying, I do not think that Wheel of Time is a very food-oriented series. I think it's more of like fashion. Yeah, there's not like a lot of food scenes. I think it's more about fashion. I think that's like Jordan's thing. He really likes to describe like the lace and the buttons and all of that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, take it or leave it, I think.
Yeah. What do you think, Ash?
See, the problem is books with amazing food usually make me hungry. So
especially when it's like fictional food that you can't ever actually have. And
exactly.
Well, now I'm just hungry and disappointing.
Apparently,
and then you gotta find.
They can't see us.
Oh,
now
they can't see us all. There we go.
Yeah, you guys can only see me.
Wait, there.
Okay. Okay.
We got it.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. This is.
I mean,
just roll with it.
The Song of Ice and Fire is considered amazing food trope like paradise, but Bola Brown doesn't sound that appeasing. Now that I'm thinking about it, like that's one of the main dishes they eat in Flea Bottom is Bola Brown. This sounds terrible. Mm-hmm. So maybe amazing food isn't good. Maybe it's bad.
Maybe amazing food is bad. I love that. I know Redwall. I don't think I've ever actually read Redwall, but I know a lot of people talk about that series as having amazing food. But personally, I'm definitely like take it or leave it. I feel like bad is a little too harsh. So I let's put take it or leave it for now. We can always change it later. The next trope that we have is Here Comes the Cavalry, which is another a Song in Ice and Fire thing that happens, even though it's not the only one, but that's the first one that comes to mind for me.
I kind of think of Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
That, but it also is this strictly books, or can we go into other media forms of media?
No, yeah, we can go into other forms. It's not fantasy books; it's fantasy tropes.
I think I think for me, it's like really dependent upon how it's executed. Because The Rise of Skywalker, when they did that at the end, I hated it. It was so out of nowhere. It was so out of place. It didn't make sense. I didn't care about the cavalry because I had no connection to any of these characters because they had botched all of the character development they tried to establish. I just
oh no. Yeah, this is a testament to how much I paid attention during that movie because I have no idea what you're talking about. I watched that movie once in the theaters and I was like, I remember feeling like baffled by it. Like that was the vibe I got from most of the Star Wars movies I've seen. But
it was just so poorly executed.
I kind of treated
I think it can. Yeah, no, go ahead, Jimmy.
But I was gonna go off on a Star Wars. You don't want to hear my opinion.
Yes, I do.
I was gonna say
maybe people do.
I kind of treat it like Godzilla versus King Kong. Like it's like a spectacle to me, and I just don't expect it to make any sense at this point. Even though the originals are like amazing, right? That was all I was gonna say. And I think that the cavalry coming is such a fine line type trope. Where you're right, Ash, like it's either really bad or it's Gandalf.
Right.
It's one or the other. So like it's hard to place it because I feel like I do see it done poorly more than I see it done well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's like a Deus Ex Machina, right? Essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put it in take it or leave it, but above amazing food.
Yes. Watch all of them just going to take it or leave it as we go on.
Yeah, we're very, very harsh critics. Okay. What's the next one? Oh, The Chosen One. This
Speaking
is
of
another one that, yeah. How do you guys feel about The Chosen One?
I think it's good. I'm going to say good, actually.
What do you think, Ash?
I think it's one of those tropes that, again, if executed well, it can be good, but I feel like a lot of times it's not executed well, and sometimes it can feel like a cop-out. Like, this person is special specifically because they're the chosen one who has to fulfill this prophecy, and I feel like sometimes that being the chosen one can become that entire character's identity, and then there isn't anything else to that character other than being the chosen one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think The Chosen One is very oversaturated, especially in the fantasy. Sorry, the kombucha is really hitting. But especially in fantasy, the Chosen One is so overused and oversaturated. But like the instances where it's done well, like Wheel of Time is a great example of a very good Chosen One story arc, and like Mistborn I think is also interesting. I've only read the first one, but I found the way that Sanderson portrayed, like the Chosen One was really good in that book. So I think I agree. I think we can put it into good because it's pretty solid most of the time.
Yeah, and when it's done well, it like really stands out. Like it can be genre impacting, like Rand and such.
Do you think Jon from Game of Thrones is a chosen one?
No, I don't. I think he's a I don't know. I think he's a commentary on Aragorn in a lot of ways. I could probably write a paper on it.
You should make a video essay of that.
That'd be awesome.
I'm afraid of season 8 people coming in and being like, "Why did you make this? Season 8 sucked." And then I got to be like, "I don't know. I'm just a loser." It's what I like.
No, make it if you think it's interesting, because I feel like that would be an awesome video. I would want to watch it.
For sure.
A really cool one is the fact that Rhaegar is basically Prince Charming, but Rhaegar died instead of saving his princess, right? Like that's such a cool commentary on that fairy tale. Yeah, it's really cool. I could do it all
I
day.
always thought Jaime was the Prince Charming, because I mean he literally looks like Prince Charming from Shrek.
Yeah, and you could probably apply the same thing to him. You really could.
Interesting. Okay, the next one is Cursed Beauty. And I actually don't know entirely what that means. I have an idea, but let me look it up.
So I think it's kind of like Dorian Gray in a way. The picture or portrait of Dorian Gray, I always get it mixed up. I read it this past year. It's basically like it has good looks, but there's like some downside to it, right? Like it's a decaying of, maybe you sell your soul to look beautiful forever or something like that. I think that's what it's saying.
Interesting. So like Mother Gothel from Tangled is a great example of that. I think that's actually a really good trope. I like that. I don't know if it's can't get enough, but what do you think, Ash? Oh, Fiona from Shrek. That's perfect.
I feel like that one's hard to place just because I feel like I don't read a lot of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
maybe we can put it in good.
Okay.
I think
but
good
underneath,
because all the examples you brought up were good.
Yeah.
So
I can't think of it done badly.
Dorian Gray is a phenomenal book. I mean, it's crazy. Very
interesting. Good. I'm like a fantasy genre fiction pleb, so I haven't read a classic in years. So maybe I'll read that.
It's very short.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty short too. Okay, dragons.
Can't get enough.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Sucker for some dragons.
Yep.
Okay, I'll put it there.
Well, Rid,
I feel I like dragons. I mean, I don't think they're bad. I just feel like they're really overdone in fantasy at this point. But that's like, I guess you could say that about the Chosen One. But I feel like dragons are kind of limiting in a way where I want to see more like crazy creatures, but whereas like I feel like dragons are always the one thing that people make. Like I want authors to make like their own creatures.
Wait till you read Malice.
Oh, okay. That's our Discord read along of the month. So if you're watching and you're not in the Discord, we're gonna be reading Malice. Thanks for that, Jimmy. That makes me really excited to read it, actually.
The Wildlife and the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne is one of the strongest aspects of his story. I absolutely love the various. You'll see. It's awesome. I love it.
Okay, that I'm so excited to read it now because I'm kind of sick of dragons. Though Alex makes a good point when he says, I like when there are crazy creatures and also dragons. That's very true. Yes. I can get behind that. Okay. The pseudo-European medieval setting. Can I say something controversial and say can't get enough? Because okay, you guys go first and then I'll explain myself.
So I feel like with me, I love it, but it's frustrating because those pseudo-European medieval settings tend to only include white people. Yep. So as a biracial Black woman, it's really hard sometimes, like as an adult, to enjoy those settings now, just because there's no representation. And I get that they're like, well, it's supposed to be medieval Europe, and but it's also fantasy. So you have the ability to shape your own world, and the fact that you chose to create this setting and shape it so it's only white people is frustrating.
Yeah, I
agree.
Yeah, I agree totally. Rid, do you remember we were talking about the other day about how people have the ability to craft their own fantasy series, but they always go with like, being straight is the normal. And then there's like two possibly gay people, or you know what I mean? Like it's so weird that you're right, Ash. Like they have this opportunity to build a world and build a new setting. They can even be inspired, right, by medieval times, but they just choose to go with what is normal with us. I don't know. I totally get what you're saying. I'm kind of in a can't get enough, but I would like to see it improved upon. I would like to see more diversity in the character cast. I would like to see more representation, right, of LGBTQ plus. Like I'd like to see more of that. So my gut reactions can't get enough, but I think there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was going to say, is that I feel like even within like the pseudo-European medieval settings that we've already seen, there's so much room for growth. Like I still like that setting because I feel like there's so much more that authors can do. And I feel like I've read more books that kind of opened up like my view of the trope, because I feel like a lot of the times that they're very heavily influenced by Tolkien, which Tolkien's not even medieval, right? But I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but I agree with you guys. I agree with you, but I also think that I'm never gonna not like that setting. I feel like I haven't gotten sick of it, but I do think that there's so much room for inclusivity, even in that setting. It doesn't preclude not being inclusive if you have that kind of setting. Okay, so where do we want to put it though?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is interesting.
I mean, I think we've all reached the consensus that we can't get enough, but there's room for improvement. So I feel like that's usually if there's room for improvement, you put something in good so it can be improved upon. I don't know.
I am down with that.
Okay.
Should we put it in between, at the top, at the end?
I kind of want to put it at the end.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like we like it, but it's in timeout.
Yeah. It's in timeout. Yeah, I mean, I also feel like I feel this way because this year I've been reading so much that's not medieval fantasy that I feel like, oh, I could go for one of those right now. But like,
Yeah.
maybe that's only because I've been branching out a lot.
Right.
I haven't put a book down because it's strictly because it's medieval fantasy. I put it down because of other reasons that might tie into that, but at face value, I haven't turned down a series because of that yet. So
yeah, that's a great way. That's basically what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
The Evil Overlord. Bad. And I know that's very ironic coming from a Wheel of Time fan, but I feel like it's bad.
And you also enjoyed Final Empire Mistborn, which is interesting because his name's literally Lord Ruler.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that I feel like was a good subversion of the
Yes,
trope.
it
Like
was.
it was very intentional in its use of the Evil Overlord. Whereas I think that a lot of times, like, I guess this is more of a problem in like the middle grade fiction and like the YA fiction I would used to read in high school, where like the villain would just be so one dimensional and boring.
Yeah. I'd say it's bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
I'm with you because I'll be honest. A lot of times when a book starts out with like I even had the problem when I first started Wheel of Time. It was just like, oh, there's just like a big baddie.
Yeah.
And it obviously is way more nuanced than that as you go through. But
yeah, bad is pretty good. Okay, strict good versus evil. Oh no. I feel like this is designed to roast me as a Wheel of Time fan.
Again, I feel like that's another one that's really dependent upon how it's executed. Because I feel like when it's strict good versus evil, there's usually a lot of nuance that doesn't get explored. And I think it kind of ties into the whole evil overlord thing where characters can become very one-dimensional and cartoonish.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a story that is strict good versus evil, and like Lord of the Rings. I don't think that Wheel of Time is well, no, it is. Wheel of Time is a strict good versus evil. I don't know.
The Faithful and the Fallen's actually pretty much good versus evil. There's some nuanced characters. I'll tell you what. I feel different about that. If you would ask me this question a year ago, I would have said, ugh. But I feel like I see so many gray characters and like the water's murky right now in modern fantasy. Sometimes I want to know who I'm supposed to hate. Sometimes I want to pump my fist and get behind the good person. I can't get enough. I think I can't get enough.
I think I agree with you because I'm thinking of like Stormlight. Well, I don't know, but I feel like Stormlight does a good job of like telling you who to hate, and like there's a very strict. Actually, I've only read till Words of Radiance, so that might not be true for the rest of the series, but it seems like there's a very like straightforward morality. I'm gonna get roasted by the Stormlight fans because I feel like that was somewhat reductive. But
well, you also said you've only read the book too, so I think that's fair.
Yeah, I really like this trope, which I know it doesn't make sense because we rated the Evil Overlord so low, but like strict good versus evil is a different thing.
Well, sometimes also there's just a detestable character, and there's something about a character making decisions like a Lord Overruler has like all the power. Like we know that shtick, right? But evil can come in many different ways, and it can have many different faces. So I think it's a little bit more dynamic than that. I was going to ask Ash, what's the last book you remember that was just straight good versus evil? It's hard to think. Like for me, I had to go back to last year.
I mean, can I include a manga series that I'm in the middle of?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm in the middle of rereading Zatch Bell, which is like my favorite manga series ever, and there's a lot of the arcs that are within it, it's very one of them in particular is just very straight good versus evil. You can very clearly see who is evil, who you are not supposed to root for, and who you are supposed to root for. So that's like the first thing that comes to mind. But I'm trying to think.
Okay, while you're thinking, I wanted to say that I think that even within stories that are strictly good versus evil, you can, like Jimmy said, you can have a lot of gray area, because I think it's always interesting to see the way that certain people react in situations where the answer is very clearly, it's very clear what you need to know. And they still don't do that thing for various human reasons. And I think that's what I was kind of trying to get at with Stormlight, because, the situation that they're in, there are some very clear answers that, obviously the character of Dalinar, I'm trying to be vague to avoid spoilers, but, there is a very clear answer to what they're supposed to do, but because of greed, human nature, like they can't do that one thing that everyone needs to do, which is generally like unite and work together. And I think that's my favorite part of strict good versus evil, because it's just like the real world, where we all know what the problems are, we all know how to solve them, and like for whatever reason those things don't get solved. But okay, the next one is the homogeneous species. I'm thinking of the Urgles from Inheritance. I don't know if you guys have read the Inheritance cycle.
I have not.
Oh, okay. That was a bad example then, but I actually can't think of the last thing I read with the homogeneous species trope.
Let me just Google homogeneous real quick.
Oh, okay. I can explain it, I think.
Listen, Southwest PA school system was trash. Okay, I'm just putting that out.
No, you're fine. So it's basically like when every single person of that species acts the same and has the same personality.
Okay.
I don't know if like Spock and the Vulcans are a good one, but yeah, it's like one size fits all for the entire species. Or I think sometimes it's also race.
Sounds like absolute trash, but I don't.
Ash, what do you think?
Well, no, because here we go, me bringing up the Sound of Stars. So I think because the alien species in that book is very much, I guess you could say one size fits all. They all kind of like think the same way and act the same way, except for kind of like this one who's a bit of a rebel. I guess that kind of fits this trope, but again, I haven't read.
I think. Yeah, I read Sound of Stars because of your recommendation, and I really enjoyed it. And I feel like in that book, the fact that all of them were homogenous and like very hive-minded was that was like the point. Like it wasn't an oversight on Alicia Dow's part. Like she was trying to make a point with the fact that all of them were the same, like that, there was a point to it. So I feel like it can be done well. I'm looking at the Orcs and Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
The factions in Divergent, I think, is a good one. I mean, Divergent is kind of bad though. It's kind of just bad overall. But yeah, I'm gonna say that it's bad. It's definitely worse than the Evil Overlord, but I feel like because of the example that Ash brought up, and I'm sure there's more that we're not thinking of, like I definitely feel like it's not absolute trash. Like, there's ways you can use it to make a point.
Yeah, I would agree. I think in a general sense, I would say bad's pretty fair.
Okay, what's the next one? The Lucky Novice.
I don't think I like it.
Trash.
Yeah, I'm gonna go trash tier.
Trash.
Throw it in the garbage bin. I'm done.
Please, no more.
Okay, I'll agree with that. I don't think I've ever. I'm thinking of one particular scene in Wheel of Time with Matt, but I don't think that counts as a lucky novice. And also, Matt's luck is like a thing, so
yeah, it's kind of.
I'll put it in absolute trash. I trust both of you. This one is just magic. What? That's not a trope. I feel like that's like a structural part of fantasy. Yeah. But I guess I feel like that kind of has to go and can't get enough. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, it has to go and can't get enough, actually. And I'll tell you. So here's what I was thinking about as you were reading that is. So I'm reading Realm of the Elderlings, and I don't know how everyone else feels. So maybe this is a good question to ask. You both, and then the viewers at home. But is Realm of the Elderlings low fantasy? Because I feel like it's low fantasy. And then what's interesting about that, though, is that it makes the magic more special. So magic's still dope. Right. And then magic's like really evident in Stormlight Archive and all these other wonderful series. And it's still dope. Right. So it has to go and can't get enough then. Right.
Yeah.
But I am kind of curious.
I feel like that's a cop out, though. Like, I don't want to put this in the. Oh, no. Can you guys see my Discord thing? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Nope.
That's good.
I don't think.
I completely lost my train of thought because I got a Discord notification, but.
Well, I
was going to say Realm of the Elderlings. I feel like Farseer is low magic, but Live Ship is not.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess that is fair.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory if you've read even like the first book, but I think that, but I don't like putting magic here because it's like I feel like it's such a cop-out, but we can put it here. Sometimes I'll put it at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. The Mentor. The silence. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I can't get enough.
Yeah.
I can't get enough.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I love a mentor character.
When I hear this, so I have a series on my shelf back here from Miles Cameron, and it's I've
never heard of that author.
He wrote the Traitor's Son cycle. He writes a lot of historical fiction as well, but it's back there. I can't remember what it's called, but it starts with Cold Iron as the first book, and it's all about a traveling like magician, like a real magician, like teaching his trade. And I can't wait to read it. And this just made me want to go read it.
Interesting. I just looked him up. He has a very interesting Google Images thing.
He does sword fighting and all types of crazy stuff.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Someone said even bad mentors, which I believe is Chris. But even bad mentors, right? Like that's so.
I love. Yeah, I mean, if you've read Farseer, I think Farseer is a great example of not bad mentors, but like flawed mentors. And I think that's part of what makes Farseer so good. You know what? I'm just gonna put the mentor at the very top of Can't Get Enough.
I actually agree.
Yeah.
Does anyone object?
No.
Okay. Wait, let me hide this before I forget. Okay. Okay, the powerful artifact.
I'm take it or leave it because I feel like I feel like a lot of these are very execution based. And I feel like powerful artifact is one of those that can very easily turn into a cop-out sometimes. Like this artifact is so powerful that it can do this and, get everyone out of this situation at the right moment. And like, again, I know I'm talking about Star Wars and not necessarily books, but everything.
No, this is fantasy, so everything under the umbrella of fantasy counts.
Everything in the Rise of Skywalker, looking for this magical artifact and this artifact. I mean, it was one MacGuffin hunt after another, and I just they were all just such cop-outs, and I was so done with it.
Yeah, I feel like magical artifact always has like a very D&D feel to it. Like it doesn't feel like literary, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if
I heard something weird. And also I feel like it's very rare that I find a magical artifact, not in real life, in books, obviously, but that's actually interesting. The most interesting one that I can think of recently was in Malazan. If you've read, I don't think either of you have read Malazan, but Anomander Rake's sword. And I don't want to say too much about it, but I think that was like one of the coolest magical artifacts that I've seen recently. And Angrials from Wheel of Time are pretty interesting too. So yeah, that's what this is what I'm talking about, is Anomander Rake's sword. But yeah, I agree with you. I think we can put it in take it or leave it.
Yes.
Definitely better than amazing food.
But probably really rare that I would pick up a book because of an artifact. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's very true. Okay. The Prophecy. I'm take it or leave it. Are you going to talk about Malice again?
No. But it is in Malice. I'll just say
I just need to read it.
I love Prophecy for this simple reason. Prophecy allows for different interpretations by each reader and the characters within the narrative. So that is where a lot of theory crafting comes from in series. And I love nothing more than a series that gives me the ability to craft theories. So I love it.
Okay.
You might have just changed my mind then, because I also agree that theorizing is one of the best parts of like waiting for a series. And yeah, I think I agree. Good.
Yes, we can.
I can settle on that. Chris said, Jimmy about to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I won't.
Oh yeah, A Song of Ice and Fire does have a prophecy.
I mean, Dany walking into the House of Undying is one of the most interesting chapters I've ever read, and people have written probably thousands of pages on it at this point, which is just wild, right?
Interesting. That you saying that is one of the only things that's actually made me want to read the books.
Oh man,
because
House of Undying.
Yeah, I don't want to read them and then have to wait. I've already been burned by Kingkiller Chronicles.
See, I'm the flip. I haven't read Kingskiller because I'm not willing. I'm like, I have one thing that stresses me out enough. So I understand your feeling.
Yeah. I have literally been waiting for book 3 of Kingkiller Chronicles for half my life. At this point, I read the first book when I was like 12 and I am now 22. So literally half my life has been spent waiting for book 3.
Damn.
But yeah. Okay. The Quest. This is that's more of like an archetype, I feel. But I love a good quest.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and subverting the quest is also, Joe Abercrombie does that very well. Actually, some people hate that. But
interesting.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, have you guys read someone asked, what does this mean? Oh wait, not that one. What does this mean? Yeah, I feel like it's just an archetype, like the quest. Yeah. There are so many different kinds of quests,
right?
You know, like yeah. This one and Magic are making me. I should have read through these before I pick this one because I'm like, well, some of them are really specific, and then there's ones like these that are super general. But
I really like Claire's point. She said quests are great for world building, and that's so true.
Yeah, that's actually good for my NaNoWriMo because I don't know about you, Ash, but for my Camp NaNoWriMo, I don't really have any plots, and now I'm like, I can just do a quest. I can't believe I haven't thought of that yet.
Yeah, you both are doing that, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah. We're going to suffer together.
How is it going? It's day 1, right? So I mean,
it is day 1.
Can't be too good or bad. But how are you feeling about the perspective month?
See, my problem is I am very much a plotter, and I can't move and start writing until I have absolutely plotted everything to death. And I'm trying to get myself past that because plotting isn't. I need to actually write and stop plotting. That's where I'm stuck.
Oh yeah.
I
think you should just dive into it because that's what I'm doing. I was gonna like outline and like figure everything out beforehand, but now I'm like, if I do that, I know I'm gonna just like set myself up for failure. So I'm just gonna dive straight into it. But yeah, what were we even talking about? Oh yeah, the quest. So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of can't get enough.
Okay.
Next to magic because I don't like it.
Okay.
But I will begrudgingly put it there. Okay, recluse who lives in the woods.
I feel like I'm take it or leave it on that one.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like it's just it's okay, and I feel like the recluse who usually lives in the woods very often turns into the mentor. But I'm take it or leave it on it.
Yeah, the last book I can remember that had one was our series was Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. And it was good. It was fine.
The one that I'm thinking of is like in Discworld, not Nanny Og. Who is it? Granny Weathervax. Am I saying that right? Weathervax. Yeah. She lives in the woods and she is an icon. And I feel like this is like my favorite. This is the trope that I would personally want to be if I was in a fantasy world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a good question. What if you could be in a fantasy world? What would you want your trope to be?
Oh. Ooh. Okay, let me see. What do we have left?
And I mean, you can choose one that's not here, but I mean,
I don't know if it's a trope.
It might be easier.
But man, I would not mind being a hedge knight.
What's a hedge knight? What is that?
I'm a mercenary. I'm for hire. If someone needs something done, I travel from keep to keep, and I see all of the land. I think a hedge knight would fit me rather well. I'm very nomadic, so
I could totally see like hiring. I'm the recluse in the woods who hires Jimmy to kill the evil overlord. There's my Camp NaNoWriMo sorted. But what about you, Ash?
I feel like a scene in a tavern, which is hilarious because I don't drink, but just chilling in a tavern, sipping on some non-alcoholic something or other.
Yes, taverns or inns. Lost in Discovery, he just read Wheel of Time. He said, "What's up with all these inns in Eye of the World?" I said, "No, that's the best part. I love it."
Yeah, I agree. And that scene in Fellowship of the Ring where Gandalf orders food and then like the barmaid gives him this like delicious plate of food. Oh, that lives in my mind rent free. Awesome food, not amazing food. Okay, but yeah, I kind of want to put recluse who lives in the woods and can't get enough, but since you guys say take it or leave it, I will put it in good.
Okay. I like it.
It's definitely better than the pseudo-European setting.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
I'll put it down there in the middle.
No skinny innkeepers.
Oh, in regard to Recluse in the Woods, I think someone in chat said Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I saw that too, actually.
And I wanted to bring it up, but I was like, I've mentioned Star Wars. So
No, You can bring it up. I'm very ignorant when it comes to Star Wars, so I won't understand your references, but I think that other people will appreciate them. So
Okay.
definitely bring up your Star Wars knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. Reinterpreted folk tales.
I think I can't get enough.
So can someone give me a better example? Like I think I'm pretty sure, but I need to hear some examples before I make a vast judgment, I guess.
Okay, so what am I thinking of? Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Barron is a Cinderella reimagining.
You know
So,
what? Yeah, I think I could get behind this.
Yeah, okay. I haven't, oh god, it's been like a year since when did I read that? Last summer?
Would Arthurian tales count? Like people redoing that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm all in. Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to. I feel like Sword of Kaigen might be a reinterpreted folk tale. I feel like I remember hearing that, but maybe I'm just making that up.
Well, someone else has said earlier talking about Prince Charming, that all kind of goes into that. So, yeah. I guess that's a good example, huh?
Okay, we can put it. Where do we want to put it?
Almost want to put it in, can't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, we can put it there, but where do you want to?
All right, so I feel like it's maybe above Strict Good versus Evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because almost all Strict Good versus Evil ties back to some sort of theme from like long ago, I feel.
Yeah, I also like that. I can't think of any right now, but like I feel like with stories that are reinterpreted folk tales, there's something very familiar about them.
Yes.
And like it feels almost comforting, and I don't know, I just like that vibe. So
I like
I'm down for that.
of our tier list and how perfectly like slanted it is. This is very
We're too nice. We're way too nice. Okay.
Oh, someone brought up
should
Legendborn. Yes. I loved Legendborn. It was so good. It took me a month and a half to read, but that book was everything I didn't know I wanted from a King Arthur reimagining. It was so good.
I really want to read that one of these days. Okay, I was gonna say, okay, I feel like we don't count magic in the quest, because otherwise I feel like we have a pretty good bell curve. Like it's a little slanted to.
We like little things, right? They're everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. The Reluctant Hero. I don't know if this is controversial, but I hate this trope.
I hate it as well.
Oh, thank God. Ash, what about you?
I can't get enough, and
oh no.
Just give me 2 seconds because someone's outside my door, and I.
Oh no, that's fine.
Give me like 2 minutes, and I'll be like right back. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Because I have to argue with myself a little bit here, Rid, because you know that I love Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and Simon is a reluctant hero. So I'm kind of conflicted. I
mean, yeah, Wheel of Time is all reluctant heroes too, but I feel like that's why I don't like it.
It's one of the but you know what? That's one of the things that grates me about Wheel of Time. Is like so as you know, I always say this. I've only read the first 4 books, but one of the things that grates me, it's like there's such a serious issue going on, and I'm like, just step up.
Yes, that is. I don't know if it's a spoiler to say this, but this is part of the reason why I love Egwene so much.
I mean, I already love Egwene, so we're on the same page here. Thankfully.
Yeah, but I think this trope is specifically why, because I think that Egwene is very proactive.
Yeah, I think it can be really annoying. But if it's annoying by design, that's not the worst thing. Like Simon is very annoying in Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. However,
but he's like a teenager, right? He's like a kid.
It's a coming of age. He's annoying for a lot of reasons. Also, side note, just random as we wait on Ash. Malta.
I'm back. Hello.
I know people say Fitz is really frustrating. Malta is far more frustrating.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh
throwing
yeah.
that out there. I don't want to go.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
Oh my god.
keep reading.
Reading
Malta is a very interesting character, but
she is. She's very well done so far.
yeah, but I'm gonna be really curious to hear your thoughts once you're done with the whole trilogy because yeah, I don't want
I'm gonna have you
to.
on and we'll talk about it.
Okay, I'm down. Let's do it.
It'll be great.
Okay, Ash, are you ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually really enjoy the reluctant hero trope.
Okay. we're at an impasse. I wasn't expecting this because I am definitely can't. Oh, I'm definitely absolute trash.
Mhm.
Well, I guess I don't want to say absolute trash, but I definitely don't like it. I strongly dislike it. And Ashes can't get enough.
Yes.
Well, it's
So-
weird for me because I said trash, but then I think about Simon and I like Simon. So I'm like, I don't necessarily want it in a story, I think. I'm probably somewhere between bad and take it or leave it.
Okay.
I don't know where that puts us as a collective group.
let's put it at the top of take it or leave it because I feel like that's the absolute middle, and that is the impasse that we've come to. But yeah, okay, we've got 5 more. Okay, the secret heir. I'll take it or leave it. I don't have strong feelings about this one.
There was a ton.
See, I feel like I'm biased because it's a trope that I'm currently writing. So
that's not biased. That just means you're an authority on it.
I wouldn't say an authority. I would just say I'm trying my best.
So this is something I used to love.
Mhm.
This is one of the tropes I'm starting. Now I wouldn't say sour on, but I'm starting to cool off on a bit.
Okay.
I've seen it a lot, but you can play with it so much. I don't know. I would say it's good. I'm gonna go with good.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
6 months ago, I probably would have said can't get enough, but right now, I think even high good's probably fine for me.
Okay.
I definitely like it more than the prophecy. I feel like it's just drama. It's very juicy whenever it happens, and I like when there's like drama in fantasy.
Yes.
Not like regular, like oh they're going to war, but like family drama where it's like oh he has like an illegitimate son. Oh my god, like the gossip. I love that kind of fantasy drama. Chris said he's having a hard time thinking of a book with secret heir.
I was thinking of
yeah, I think A Song of Ice and Fire is pretty. That's the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I guess Aragorn kind of counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aragorn would count.
Take a shot every time I mention Wheel of Time, Game of Thrones, and Lord of the Rings.
Hey, you know what? I'm just leaning into it now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't. Once I go live, my brain is just minimum function.
I think it also speaks to how impactful those series were on you. Or at least, Wheel of Time, I would say. Like for me, Song of Ice and Fire is my favorite.
Yeah.
I've spent the most time in it. So it is what it is, right? I think it's fine. Or, Ash loves Star Wars. I learned that. Or maybe hates it. I can't tell.
I think people who love a thing are the most, they know everything. They are so intimately they know intimately what's so bad about a thing. You know what I mean? I feel like you'll get the most entertaining rants out of someone who loves something, and they'll rant about why they hate it. Like that's my favorite thing. Okay. Talking animals.
Oh.
I was gonna say take it or leave it, but then Night Eyes from the Farseer trilogy pushes this into can't get enough.
Is he talking though? You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, so if you're counting Night Eyes, it automatically is 5 stars.
I know, like you there's no other, you can't not put it 5 stars. Every emotion talk. That's really funny. I agree.
All right. So when I was in 5th grade, we were forced to read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I don't remember the wolf's name, but there was this talking wolf, and I was terrified of him. I think that just ruined the trope for me. No more talking animals. I'm scared.
So I haven't read his Dark Materials, but I did watch the show, and I'll be honest,
that's another great.
The talking animals.
Oh, you don't like it?
I didn't like it. I don't know why.
I wonder if you would feel different if you read the books.
Oh, more than likely. Now, if Night Eyes counts, if internal dialogue counts, I'm in. But you know what?
Okay.
John Gwynn's newest series, Shadow of the Gods, is book 1. He actually did talking animals, and it's really good. So maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
That makes me even more interested to read John Gwynn. The more you talk about him, the more I'm like,
he's a good time.
Want to read him.
I
mean, not that I didn't want to, but from the stuff you've introduced in this stream today, I'm much more intrigued.
I think he brings a lot to the table, and he's very easy to read, and his books are only 400 or 500 pages, so it's not, it's not a huge undertaking. But
I'm going to put talking.
Because I feel like Ash isn't bad. Is that right?
Yeah. Or, I mean, okay, I've matured a little bit. I feel like I can put it in, take it or leave it. Just
okay.
Yeah.
We can put it at the top.
Okay.
At the top for Night Eyes, because but I feel like Night Eyes is the exception to the rule.
Oh,
like.
Yeah, I'm with you. Actually, I like it. Sorry, I just had an epiphany of another character I forgot about.
What is it?
I can't.
You can't just say.
I can't say. Or I won't say what the animal is, but Dagger in the Coin has a talking animal. That's tremendous. Ooh. So yeah.
Oh, I just thought of one from Malazan.
So there's more than I thought.
Yeah. See, the thing about talking animals, if they're done right, then they don't feel like animals. They feel like people.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's Night Eyes. I mean, Night Eyes is the best character in Farseer.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna put it in take it or leave it, because I feel like that's a scene in a tavern. Can't get enough.
Can't get enough.
Number 1.
All the tavern scenes. Give me all the tavern scenes.
Is it better than The Mentor though?
Yes.
Because it can't be done poorly.
Yes.
You know what? That is very true. That is very true. I cannot argue with that. Okay, we have 2 left.
Yes.
The Waiting Evil and Witches.
What? Okay, can someone clarify the Waiting Evil? Like that, I feel like that's really broad.
Is that like the others in A Song of Ice and Fire? Like they're waiting for their time to come through the wall? I think it's
kind of like a prophecy too. Like when there's a prophecy of like an evil that's about to come.
Yeah. So I think I like it. I think I like it. And here's why. I like it because the sense of impending doom that if us, the readers, are clued in on, and then we get to see the revelation through the cast of characters, assuming a multiple POV, seeing how they deal with that information is really, really intriguing to me. And also who does what about it. I think that is like at its core, really humanity. So we have we just react from awful thing to awful thing. Not to be too nihilistic, but it's how people react.
It's like climate change,
COVID, anything, right? Like you can throw any crisis out there, and then we can judge people by how they handle those situations. So, and also, I feel like impending doom or waiting evil also affects common characters, meaning ones that aren't even names, right? Like you see the life of people within the village, you know, that has come to life before your eyes, that their lives change, which climate change would be a good example of that, right? I like it, actually. I might even love it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I like it.
I kind of went on a rant.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, it's fine.
Don't apologize. That is, I welcome all rants. Yeah, it's a great way to add tension with even
Yeah.
slower
Yes.
plot moments.
Yes.
Can't get enough.
I'm there.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it. See, I feel like it's very similar to strict good versus evil, somewhat.
I would agree.
So I'm just gonna put it right next to it.
Okay.
Witches.
I like witches.
It's just witches. You know what? I am a sucker for a good witch in a story. I love a good witch. I feel like I need to put it in can't get enough, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts first.
I feel like I definitely, it's one of those I definitely can't get enough, but I've also noticed there's been this trend of authors who will use witches in their stories, and the magic system in which they use borrows heavily from indigenous and Black cultures, and it's very clear that they haven't done the research that they needed to do in order to properly write some of these magic systems. So again, I feel like it's one of those I like it, but I'm very, very picky with it because I feel like authors sometimes just don't do the research or take the care that they need to when crafting magic systems.
Yeah.
That's a really
I agree.
good point.
I feel like it can almost be like a marketing thing sometimes where like there's book, like it's a witch book, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Also, what qualifies a witch? You know what I mean? Like, is it just someone out in the woods doing magic that happens to be female?
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Right.
I think witches are generally supposed to be women. I think that's like the common perception, but I saw something on the internet recently that was like witches, it's not like a gendered term, you know, like men can be witches too, apparently.
That was kind of my question, yeah.
I mean, when I think of witches, I definitely think of like Terry Pratchett witches, which I think someone brought up, and those are like my fave. But
Lost in Discovery,
you know,
just said he's back and he's upset that we put taverns at number one.
Oh no,
because that was.
I'm sorry, we had to. That was like a unanimous decision, so we can't just blame Jimmy for that. But yeah,
that's so funny to me.
We're all Team Tavern.
Yeah, Team Tavern.
Team
I like
Tavern.
It. That's official name of the stream is Team Tavern.
I'm very interested to see why you don't like taverns. You need to. You have to defend that position. I need to know. But back to witches.
I'm gonna go with good because the two witch type characters, they weren't like just absolutely named that in books I read this past year. I really enjoyed so. But I also hear Ash's criticism, and to be honest, I don't know enough to call those things out. Which then tells me that it's very likely, very, very likely that a lot of other people probably have not done their research, right? So
yeah, I don't know. I didn't know about that either, to be honest.
That's why I like talking to people, right? Because you learn things. So
yeah. If Rand is juggling by book 5, I'm out. Is it a spoiler to say whether or not Rand is juggling in book 5?
Juggling
I don't know. Read and find out. Yeah, juggling the fate of all humanity, maybe.
Trying to keep the wheel turning.
Yeah. Okay. Witches. I'm gonna go with take it or leave it.
Okay.
I think it's better than the powerful artifact.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So is there any ones that are like outstanding where we should move them or?
Let's see what the chat thinks. Chat, what do you guys think? Chris, if you haven't read Seasons of Albion, Chris does a great witch.
Available now.
Yes, on Amazon. Hardback, paperback, Kindle. Rand is juggling women. I will not comment on that, but yes. Yes. I think my chat is delayed, but let's look at the tier ranking so far. So we have a scene in a tavern as can't get enough. The Lucky Novice as absolute trash. Honestly, I feel like The Lucky Novice, I feel kind of bad putting it in absolute trash.
Nah.
No, because
it's bad.
It's
Okay.
bad. There's just no reason for it. Like I feel like again, okay, Star Wars. The clearest example I can think of that, and people might hate me for this, but it's like Rey.
Yeah.
Was very much a lucky novice. And then people got mad when you said that because it'd be, well, you know, Luke didn't have training and he was still able to, you know, destroy the Death Star. But it's like, then he still went on to have, you know, some training. Rey just right off the get-go is, you know, super good at things and super powerful. And then you find out it's, you know, not because she's just talented or worked hard for it. It's because she's Palpatine's granddaughter.
I remember seeing that and I was like, by the way, spoilers, I guess, but I mean, it's been out for like 3 years or something. But yeah, I remember seeing that and I haven't seen like the original movies and I was like, what? I was very baffled by my experience.
I hate it. Because it's one of those that just it feels like a cop out. It's just, well, this person's good because
it's in their DNA or something, right? Yeah.
I feel good about this ranking.
Yes.
I don't know what do we do with it? I'm gonna like print it out and hang it on my wall.
It would be a really good screenshot to post on your community tab on YouTube. And if you haven't hit like and subscribe yet on this channel, I implore you to smack the shit out of that like and subscribe.
Good job, Jimmy. You're doing the content creator things.
No problem. And this live stream is brought to you by Discord.
Join my Discord. Thank you, Jimmy. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you to everyone in the chat. That was a lot of fun discussing with you guys. Do you guys have any plans for the rest of the day, or you're just gonna chill at home?
Mad ship.
Nano.
Nice. Oh yes. Good luck on NaNoWriMo, by the way. Maybe we can do another live stream about talking about writing and how that goes for you. I don't know how experienced you are, like how much you've written, but I am a total newbie, so this is gonna be a very learning experience for me. So yeah,
I'm down.
If you want to come back on my channel,
for sure, definitely.
Jimmy, enjoy Mad Ship. I can't wait for you to finish the trilogy. No pressure, but
it should be in the month of April. I think I can have it done in about 10, maybe not 10 days. We'll see. In April, I'll have it finished. I promise.
You read Farseer really quickly, so I
sure
have
did.
faith in you.
I ruined my life for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was worth it. Robin Hobb is worth it, though.
Yes,
so yeah, thank you guys for joining me again. It's always a pleasure to have you on my channel, and you're welcome back anytime. And thank you to everyone in the chat. I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
And don't forget to subscribe to Jimmy and Ash. They're linked in the description, so don't forget to subscribe. Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Ta-ta.